The warm breeze carried the scent of magnolias through the quiet streets of Charleston, their soft white petals illuminated under the golden glow of the street lamps. Serena stood on the balcony of her family's old townhouse, the humid night air pressing gently against her skin. Below, the city hummed with life, couples laughing, carriages rolling lazily down cobblestone roads, the distant melody of a street violinist playing beneath the old oak trees. She should have been inside, celebrating with the rest of the guests at her engagement party. Instead, she was here, alone, staring at the moonlit river, her heart heavy with a longing she didn't quite understand. And then she heard him. Still running away from the crowds? Her breath caught. She turned slowly, already knowing who she would find standing in the shadows near the wrought iron balcony railing. Julian. The man she had once loved. The man she had never truly forgotten. He looked the same yet different, his dark hair slightly tousled from the evening breeze, his sharp blue eyes holding the same quiet intensity they always had. He was dressed in a tailored black suit, the candlelight from the windows casting soft golden reflections in his gaze. Serena's fingers tightened around the railing. "You shouldn't be here." Julian smirked, stepping closer. "And yet, you're not surprised that I am." She hated that he was right. "How did you even get in?" she asked, keeping her voice steady. "I have my ways," he said with a shrug, his eyes never leaving hers. "Would you believe me if I said I just wanted to see you one last time?" Serena's heart clenched. "Last time?" Julian exhaled, leaning against the railing, his expression softening. "You're getting married, Serena. What else is there to say?" The words struck her harder than she expected. She had told herself that she had moved on, that Julian was just a beautiful memory from a past life. But standing here, with only the night sky and magnolia-scented air between them, she knew she had been lying to herself. "I didn't think you'd come back," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Julian chuckled, but there was no humor in it. "Neither did I." Silence settled between them, filled with things neither of them knew how to say. And then, softly, Julian asked, "Are you happy?" The question stole the air from her lungs. She should say yes. She should nod, smile, tell him she had made the right choice. But the words wouldn't come. Julian's lips parted slightly, as if he wanted to say something more, but then the sound of laughter and music from inside grew louder. Reality crashed back in. Serena took a shaky step back, her fingers brushing against the delicate fabric of her dress. "I should go." Julian nodded slowly, though something in his eyes flickered with hesitation. "Of course." She turned toward the door, but just before stepping inside, she heard his voice one last time. "If you ever need a reason not to marry him," Julian murmured, "just remember, I was always willing to fight for you." Her heart pounded against her ribs. She didn't look back. But for the first time in months, she wasn't sure if she was walking in the right direction. The night was long, and Serena felt every second of it. Inside the grand ballroom, crystal chandeliers sparkled above swirling gowns and champagne glasses clinking in celebration. She was supposed to be happy, glowing, even. That's what people told her a bride-to-be should feel. But all she could feel was the weight of Julian's words lingering in the back of her mind. "I was always willing to fight for you." Her fiancé, Edward, stood across the room, speaking with a group of guests. He was handsome, kind, and respectable, the perfect match. He loved her. He had never once given her a reason to doubt his devotion. So why did she feel like she was suffocating? "Serena?" She blinked, snapping back to reality as her best friend, Clara, touched her arm. "You look like you've seen a ghost," Clara murmured, concern flickering in her hazel eyes. Serena swallowed, forcing a smile. "I'm fine." Clara gave her a knowing look. "You were fine until he showed up, weren't you?" Serena's breath hitched. Clara had known about Julian, about what they once were. "I shouldn't have spoken to him," she admitted quietly. Clara studied her carefully. "Then why did you?" Serena didn't have an answer. The next morning, the sun streamed through her window, golden and warm, as if the universe itself was mocking the storm inside her. She had barely slept. Julian's presence had shattered something inside her, something she had carefully built over the past 2 years. As if on cue, there was a soft knock on her door. She opened it to find a letter resting on the threshold. No name, no explanation. Just a folded piece of parchment with ink-stained edges. Her fingers trembled as she picked it up, unfolding it carefully. Meet me by the river at sunset. Her heart stopped. It could only be from one person. By the time Serena reached the river, the sky was painted in hues of pink and gold. The gentle sound of water lapping against the shore filled the silence as she approached the old wooden dock. And there he was, Julian. He stood with his hands in his pockets, his dark hair slightly tousled from the breeze, his expression unreadable. "You came," he said, his voice softer than she expected. Serena crossed her arms, trying to ignore the way her heart pounded. "I shouldn't have." Julian smiled faintly. "But you did." She exhaled sharply. "Why did you ask me here?" He hesitated, looking out at the river as if searching for the right words. "Because I needed to see you one last time before you marry him." Serena's chest tightened. She should tell him that this meeting was pointless, that she had made up her mind. But deep down, she knew she hadn't. Julian turned to face her fully, his gaze locking onto hers. "Tell me something," he murmured. "Do you love him?" Her breath caught. That was the one question she had been avoiding. Edward was safe. Edward was dependable. Edward was good. But love? She opened her mouth, but no words came. Julian stepped closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "If you love him, tell me now, and I'll never bother you again." Serena's throat went dry. She had always thought love was supposed to be easy, calm, gentle, without risk. But standing here, with Julian's eyes searching hers, she realized something terrifying. Love was never supposed to be safe. Love was this. A wild, reckless, desperate pull. And she had been running from it for far too long. Tears stung her eyes. Julian. His expression fell. He had his answer. Without another word, he turned to leave. But just as he took his first step away, she grabbed his hand. The moment Serena touched Julian's hand, the world seemed to pause. He froze, his breath hitching, as if he didn't dare to hope. She swallowed, her fingers tightening around his. "I don't know what's right anymore," she whispered, "but I know that I don't want to lose you again." Julian turned slowly, his eyes scanning her face, searching for the truth in her words. "You mean that?" he asked, his voice raw. Serena nodded, her chest aching with the weight of her decision. "Yes." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then, before she could second-guess herself, Julian reached up, cupping her face gently. "Serena, if you walk away from this, you have to know, I will never stop loving you." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I know." And then, he kissed her. It wasn't a hesitant kiss. It wasn't polite or careful. It was everything. All the lost time, all the longing, all the words they had never spoken. Serena melted into him, her hands gripping his jacket, her heart beating wildly against his. When they finally broke apart, she exhaled shakily. "What now?" Julian's lips brushed against her forehead, his breath warm. "That's up to you." She thought of Edward, the wedding, the life she had planned. And then she thought of this. Of him. Of how the world felt different when she was with Julian, like every moment mattered more. Serena took a deep breath, stepping closer. "Take me away from here." Julian's eyes darkened. "Are you sure?" She nodded, her pulse racing. "Yes." Without hesitation, Julian took her hand. And together, they ran, leaving behind the safe, predictable life she had built and stepping into the unknown. Because sometimes, the heart knows the truth before the mind is ready to accept it. And Serena's heart had always belonged to Julian.